Penguins are birds. They have feathers. They lay eggs. They even have wings. So, why can't they fly? At first thought, it doesn't make much sense. Most birds use their wings to soar through the sky, but penguins spend their lives waddling across ice and diving beneath the ocean. Did they somehow lose the ability to fly? Or were they never able to fly in the first place? The answer is much more fascinating than you might think. Today we're exploring how penguins traded life in the air for life underwater, why evolution favored swimming over flying, and why giving up flight turned out to be one of the best survival strategies imaginable. And if you enjoy discovering the hidden explanations behind everyday questions, consider subscribing and drop a comment on what we should cover next. The first thing to know is that penguins didn't start out as flightless birds. Their ancient ancestors could fly. Millions of years ago, the ancestors of modern penguins looked much more like other seabirds. They could take to the air, land on the water, and search for food near the ocean's surface. But over time, something changed. Food beneath the water became far more valuable than food above it. Fish, squid, and krill were abundant, and the birds that became better swimmers had a huge advantage. At first, even small improvements helped. Stronger wings made it easier to chase fish. A slightly heavier body made diving easier. Better underwater control meant more successful hunts. Generation after generation, natural selection favored birds that were better at swimming. But there was a catch. The perfect wing for flying through air is very different from the perfect wing for moving through water. Air is relatively thin. Water is nearly 800 times denser. To fly underwater, penguins needed short, stiff, powerful wings that acted like flippers instead of broad, lightweight wings designed for soaring. As their wings changed, they became better divers and worse flyers. Eventually, flying simply wasn't possible anymore. But the changes didn't stop there. Flying birds usually have hollow bones. Those lightweight bones make getting into the air much easier. Penguins evolved denser, heavier bones instead. That extra weight helps them dive quickly without floating back to the surface. Their bodies also became streamlined. Their legs shifted farther back, making them awkward walkers, but incredibly efficient swimmers. Even their feathers changed. Unlike the loose feathers of many flying birds, penguins have tightly packed waterproof feathers that trap a layer of warm air against their skin, helping them survive in freezing oceans. Every part of their body became specialized for life in the water. In fact, penguins are so well adapted that they can reach speeds of more than 20 miles per hour while swimming. Watching them underwater almost looks like they're flying. Instead of flapping through the sky, they're flying through the ocean. So why didn't they simply keep both abilities? The answer comes down to trade-offs. Evolution doesn't create perfect animals. It creates animals that are good enough to survive and reproduce in their environment. Being excellent at one thing often means giving up another. For penguins, becoming world-class swimmers was far more valuable than remaining average flyers. Because they had relatively few land predators in the environments where they evolved, there wasn't as much pressure to escape danger by flying away. The ocean became their highway. Swimming became their superpower. Penguins aren't alone either. Several other birds also gave up flight, including ostriches, emus, kiwis, cassowaries, and rheas. Each species followed its own evolutionary path, but the principle was similar. When flying no longer provided the biggest survival advantage, evolution favored other abilities instead. For penguins, that ability was swimming, and they became some of the best swimmers in the bird world. So the next time you see a penguin waddling across the ice, remember that it isn't a bird that failed to fly. It's a bird that became so perfectly adapted to life underwater that it no longer needed the sky. Its wings didn't disappear. They simply found a different purpose.